worth about 1050 crores. And after the end of the quarter, we have secured one order from the Indian Navy. It's a marine order worth about 1150 crores. And in addition to that, we are L1 on one order worth about 350 crores. So that's it from my side. I will now hand over to Mr. Basu for his comments, and then we'll take your questions.
Good morning to all of you. This is Jayant Basu, and thank you, Prasad, for brief on our financial performance. I will now quickly take you through our operational performance for the quarter ended September 2020. As you see that this revenue has grown as expected by around 40% from last quarter in June to September, which is in line with our expectation. But still, that is not the normal revenue what we get in the other years. Last year, during this time, our revenue was around 25% more than this quarter. So, but I strongly believe that things are back to normalcy. Coming quarters, it will be much better than this quarter, and hopefully by end of this year, we'll back to the normal situation. Now, if you take you through the major projects what we are executing, quickly I'll run through them. Mumbai Metro, hopefully by December this year, we'll be able to complete the entire tunnel, which is around 11 kilometers. So that will be a good achievement by us. Similarly, Calcutta Metro Underground, as you know that we have gone through some difficult times last year, but I'm glad to say that we have already completed one tunnel last month, which is a good achievement, and we have overcome all the technical challenge there. Bangalore Metro Underground just picking up, and the progress will ramp up very soon from January onwards. You will see that the revenue is coming from that project because we will be starting the tunnel work during January or February next year. Similarly, we are doing a couple of elevated metro jobs, Bangalore, Nagpur and Calcutta. Bangalore Metro progress is around 86 to 87%. Nagpur is in the verge of completion, and Calcutta Metro new job we have just started. In marine, as usual, Udangudi remains the biggest amongst all the other marine job, going okay. In addition to Udangudi, we have got Andaman. It is also almost 75% job has been completed. Myanmar is the overseas job, as you know, but unfortunately, due to strict lockdown imposed by Myanmar government, there was no progress in the month of September and part of August, and even in the month of October. We have just resumed the work couple of days back, and hopefully that it will pick up from now onwards. There are a couple of new jobs in marine. The Vizhinjam job we are just starting, and as I have told you last time, we have got the award from Seabird project, that is Indian Navy. It's a big job for us, around 1140 crores job. It will be a good marine job for us in coming days, and the inauguration has already taken place. So that is a good news. In addition to Seabird, there is a small marine job at Krishnapatnam from Adani that also we have started. These are the main jobs. In addition to that, we have got airport, Trichy and Pune. Jobs have picked up. Labor force has come back. So things are back to the normal in terms of execution. As you know that we had to take some hit in the bottom line due to the effect of COVID. And we have, as Mr. Prasad has said, that we did a detailed analysis of the cost to completion, and that has affected us, but that does not reflect our overall financial performance. As the jobs are picking up, definitely we'll do much better in the coming quarters. I would like to also highlight a little bit on the job prospect we have. And if we see that today, around 20,000 odd crore job under various stages, either pre-qualification or tender in progress, or tender submitted. Out of that, there are 2-3 jobs we are L1. One is PWD at North Bengal, around 300 crores, and a marine job in Mumbai port, around 150 crores. These jobs are L1, and we are expected to get order any time. And if you see the bifurcation of the new expected job from metro, it is around 10,000 crore. From industrial project around 3,000 crores. From marine around 6,000 crores, and other altogether around 21,000 crore job we are now pursuing. With all these new jobs and good work in hand, things will definitely improve from next quarter onwards, and I strongly believe that it will be much better in next year or in the end of this year. So with this, I'll conclude the operational briefing. Now I'd like to have questions from your end. So hand over to Mr. Prasad.
Adidev, request you to start assembling the queue so that we can take the questions from the people on the call.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Parikshit Kandpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. So my first question is that you, Prasad, earlier said that about 50 crores of COVID provisioning has been done during this quarter. So if you can give us segment-wise, like which are the key segments which were impacted, and any one or two major projects where the maximum hit has come in from.
Good morning, Parikshit. Thank you for your question. What I have said is we have reported a loss of 50 crores in this quarter. I haven't said that we have taken a hit of 50 crores. See, the way the process works, we have assessed, where we are on the various projects that are under execution and what will be the additional timelines and the additional cost that we'll be incurring and whether that cost can be recovered from the customers or not. So based on that assessment, we have reviewed the project CTCs, and the outcome of that review is the numbers that you have seen that we have reported for this quarter. It will be difficult for me to give you a project-wise or segment-wise number of the impact of COVID because all these projects are at different stages of completion. So, the impact on the numbers will vary from project to project.
But is there any Bengaluru elevated metro project, or because I think that was the pain point, one of the major pain points. So is it like we have seen? So what would be the quantum at least in that project?
Yeah, in Bangalore we have taken a hit of about 30-35 crores in this quarter, and there is an impact on the other projects as well. But yes, Bangalore has impacted us by about 30 odd crores.
So. And other projects would be like lesser amounts, so 10 to 15 crores kind of numbers. Because I just want to arrive at if this assessment was not done, what would have been our normalized EBITDA? So get a sense on that. That's
no, Parikshit, it will be difficult to comment on that because we haven't done. What we have done is what we need to do at the end of the quarter and reassess all our projects. So had the impact of COVID not been there, what would have been the numbers? I mean, it will be difficult to. It will be a theoretical exercise, but will be difficult to comment on that at this stage.
Any hit taken on marine project?
Sorry?
Any hit taken on the marine project?
Well, we have reviewed the CTCs of all the projects. We have project contingencies or some provisions in the project. The recoverability of the additional cost that we have incurred, we have reviewed that as well. So, again, Parikshit, it will be difficult to comment on this, on a project by project or even a segment-wise basis.
The thing is that only, other companies also which have reported numbers. So we have, ITD is very conservative when it comes to provisioning of cost and reviews. But as of now, we have not seen any major trends of booking of COVID-related provisions. But my sense is, so I wanted to arrive at was that we have seen series of setbacks in last 4, 5, 6 quarters, and it has been happening on a more regular basis. Rather than exceptional basis. So going ahead, I think Jayanta earlier said that now from here on things are looking better. So has the damage already, whatever escalations have already been done, or is there something more to come from here on if we are not having any second wave? So given that if we don't have a second wave, so how have you taken the hits on all the projects to the maximum extent, or there's something left to be provisioned?
Yeah, Parikshit, this is Jayanta Basu. Let me answer this. See, there are a mix of the client. Some client, there is provision that they reimburse part of the COVID-related cost. Some client doesn't have any provision, and even in some client also they reimburse only for the lockdown period, not thereafter. So we have done a detailed analysis of entire project what we are executing, and only thing wherever we have got reimbursement, like some cost reimbursed by some metro job, that we have taken as a pluses. But the minuses due to COVID is much more than the pluses. So I think we have done a detailed analysis and we have taken hit of that. Now going forward onwards, unless there is a further stoppage of work due to COVID, I don't see that there will be any problem.
And the composition is now moving towards, slightly moving towards marine jobs, which have been our best segments in the entire order book with respect to margins and execution. So does it make a case from significant improvement in margins and profitability going ahead in next year and the year after that when these projects come into execution?
Yes, actually, if you see, there are two big marine projects, and not only two big marine, one of them is also underground job. One is Bangalore Metro Underground, which is around 1,700 crores. One is Project Seabird, 1,200 crores, and one is Myanmar, 500 crores. These jobs are definitely going to do better in coming days, and maybe from end of this year or beginning of next year, you will see the result of that. And Udangudi, the progress at the rate of what is happening now, we are doing around 30 odd crore per month, which will immediately ramp up to 55 to 60 crore by another 2-3 months time. So once those 4 projects picked up and then Delhi project starts, things will radically change. That I can tell you.
And on the Adani project in Sri Lanka, sir, I think last time you had mentioned about that project. So I think the government has cleared, the local government there has cleared that project. So any talks or progress on us getting that project?
Very much there. In fact, we have submitted our technical proposal to them. It is now a matter of, it is G2G basically, India government, Japan government and Sri Lanka government. They are doing the balance formalities, and we expect that from February onwards the project will start. The tender process has already started. So we are there very much, yes.
And this will be how much is the size? How big will be this?
This is the construction of new terminal as we have done, we are doing at Myanmar.
Size-wise, I'm saying, sir, size-wise, how big would be?
Yeah, around 1,500 crores.
Okay. And just lastly, on the high-speed rail, any role we have there to play? Anything we are looking to bid the coming up, the packages which will come up in the future?
High-speed rail, it was quite expected that what has happened, it was known to us, that this is going to happen like that.
Okay.
For the coming packages where Japanese are involved, we have already tied up with them. I don't want to reveal the party. Okay. Once those packages come, we'll be definitely there.
And what will be the EPC or what kind of packages? This tie-up is for what kind of expertise or what kind of packages?
See, when the substructure completed, there will be track laying work, which is very highly specialized job, and those track laying job will be done totally by Japanese company. So we have tied up with some of the company from Japan on that. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, and wish you all the best and happy Diwali to you.
Thank you. Happy Diwali. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vibhor Singhal from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for taking my question. So just wanted to dwell a bit further on the margins and the provisions that we have taken. So I just wanted to understand the temporary or permanent, whatever the nature of these provisions. So on one hand, I wanted to understand is that the provisions that we have taken are basically, as you mentioned, are the kind of costs that we believe will not be reimbursed by the client and the net hit that we will have to take on our own expenses. So as of now, these are provisions. So is there any likelihood of them being reversed in the later quarters, or do you believe this is a very good final assessment and this is the cost that we will have to bear?
No. See, what we have done is, there are some costs that we have incurred. Now, with the project execution timelines are getting extended, there will be additional costs that we may have to incur. Simultaneously, we are also discussing with the clients for reimbursement and recovery of the costs that we are incurring. So we have taken a view on what we expect, will be the outcome on completion of the project, and based on that, we have accounted for the, the numbers which you are seeing in our results. But we are certainly hopeful of, getting some more compensation from the client, and when that happens, you will see a reversal in some of these provisions. But that may not, the timelines or the quantification of that number is uncertain at this stage. But I am sure that will happen in the forthcoming months and quarters.
Quarters. Sure, sir. That is what probably my thought process also was. Also, sir, I know we've had the conservative accounting policy, but none of the companies or peers who have the same clients, same projects that they are working on, have had these issues that they are not being reimbursed. I know port segment is one segment which is kind of different, but other than that, overhead, underground, all these metro projects, I think the same clients and same projects are being taken up by the companies. So either, sir, we can expect that they will come up with some loss or provisions maybe in the later quarters. Or is there something different in other contracts that we have signed? Is it more like a fixed price contract that we have signed and they do not have those escalation or those time delay overrun provisions? Why is it that there is such a dichotomy between what we are reporting and what all others are reporting?
Because my understanding is that the contracts that are executed between the client and the contractor, those are similar contracts. There is no change in the contract clauses as such. But frankly, I would not like to comment on how the other companies are accounting or recognizing revenue. We have been transparent and clearly told you the process which we are following and how we have arrived at the numbers that we have reported.
Fair enough, sir. That is good enough. Also, sir, now that we have basically done almost 1,000 crores of revenue, just short of 1,000 crores of revenue, any likelihood or any guidance that you could provide as to what is the kind of top line we would be looking at for the full year?
Well, we have already spoken about that in our earlier calls. So, we are hopeful that we'll be able to, you have seen a 40% growth in our top line in this quarter as compared to the previous quarter. And we are certainly, based on the order book and the orders that we have secured, we are hopeful that we'll substantially exceed, this 40% growth in the next 2-3 quarters as well. So we are hopeful of a much better performance in the coming 2 quarters of this year.
But we wouldn't be able to give it as a service FY20 what we will do in FY21.
Well, we hope to do better than that actually. But this lockdown is something, if there is a second wave of COVID or like Mr. Basu mentioned, in Myanmar we have lost nearly 1.5 or 2 months because of the strict lockdown enforced in Myanmar. These things are not in our control. So we would rather prefer not to give any guidance. But based on the order book and what we are seeing actually on the ground, we are quite certain or quite hopeful that we'll have a better performance in Q3 and Q4 onwards.
Right, sir. Sir, as of now, what will be the labor availability at our site? And as a percentage, what will be your execution level vis-a-vis pre-COVID level?
Yeah, now good news that the labor availability is almost there, pre-COVID level standard, I think.
Okay.
So that is no more the issue. And execution level also we should achieve what we used to get pre-COVID level. Yeah.
Do you expect that to reach there by, sir, let's say the end of this quarter, or will it be Q4 before we reach those levels?
Q3 will be touch and go, but Q4 definitely will get.
Q4 definitely. Yeah. And sir, even despite the labor availability, I believe because of the social distancing norms and other precautions that we have to take, our execution probably would be impacted despite labor availability being back at those levels.
You are absolutely right. See, it is not only the lockdown, it is the restricted way of working. And there are a lot of restrictions nowadays, and which tantamounts to less productivity by labor. So all those costs, what you see today, we have taken, that factor those issues also.
Right, sir. Sure. Great, sir. Thank you so much for taking my questions. Wish you all the best and happy Diwali to you.
Thank you. Happy Diwali to you as well.
Thank you. We would like to remind participants that you may press *1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Manish Sonthalia from Motilal Oswal. Please go ahead.
Manish, can you speak a bit louder? We are not able to hear you.
Mr. Manish?
Whether the insurance amount has been received for our Calcutta.
Mr. Manish Sonthalia, you are in the question queue, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Manish, we are not able to hear you. Can you speak a bit louder?
Yeah, I'm saying that whether we are able to receive the insurance amount that was due to us for our Calcutta Metro.
Yes, discussions are going on. So far, we haven't received any amount, but discussions are going on. It is quite positive. Hopefully, something will happen by end of this year.
And how much of a percentage do you think will be realized, and how much of a haircut that we'll have to take?
I will not be able to comment on how much percentage we'll get, but I don't think there will be any haircut because there are other provisions as well.
How much was our claim for this?
I have to check up how much. Around 200 odd crores was our claim.
Okay, so you expect this to be received by the end of this year?
Not all, because it will take some time. Some part we may get, but it will continue for some more time. Yes.
Okay. Thanks. That's all.
Thank you very much. Happy Diwali.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Venkata Subramaniam from Organic Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thanks for taking my question. Predictably, actually, this question is also along the same lines as what the other participants did. Is it our conservative approach that led us to provide this 50 odd crores, and what is the possibility of recovery out of this?
Well, I wouldn't call it conservative. It is probably a realistic approach that we have taken. And as I answered the previous person as well, we are hopeful of recovering, larger amounts from the clients on account of, whatever costs we have incurred on COVID. But I don't think it will be prudent for us to account for that or take that into consideration when we do the reporting of the results at this stage. But we are certainly, so as Mr. Basu mentioned, some of the clients are reimbursing us the cost, and there are discussions underway with the clients for, reimbursement of these costs that we have incurred or will be incurring. So we are certainly hopeful that we'll recover some money from the clients, but we have not taken or factored that in our results for this quarter.
Prasad, in as much as this is an act of God, either from the clients or some insurance company, isn't there some scope?
No, I don't think insurance companies will come into play over here.
For loss of profit kind of insurance?
No. I don't think this will be covered by the insurances that we have on the project. And with the clients, most of these are government clients, and they will be governed by the contract that we have executed with them. So we'll have to go by the contractual provisions. And based on the directives of the central government, some of the projects are reimbursing us the cost that we have incurred, especially during the lockdown period. So we'll have to. These discussions are on, and these matters will not get resolved very quickly. We'll keep pursuing these matters with our clients, and they are also responding positively to it. So let's see how it goes.
Just a small observation, Prasad. We have had fairly frequent, may not be very frequent, bad debt provisions, etc. Do we need to reassess the way we choose clients? What exactly has led to it? I mean, I'm taking back, let's say, about a few quarters back also.
No, the only big write-off that we had in this year was on account of IL&FS. Now, IL&FS, I don't think anybody expected whatever happened with IL&FS to really happen. Maybe 5 years back or even 3 years back for that matter.
Right.
So we are prudent in the selection of our clients. If you see the contracts that we are executing now, most of the clients have their, finances tied up. So, either through some international funding arrangements or Indian domestic financing arrangements as well. So we try to be prudent, and we ensure that the clients that we work for have their financial tie-ups in place so that our payments are not delayed.
Thanks a lot. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sandeep Verma from Axis Bank. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, just one thing. The delay in execution was on account of COVID and social distancing norms. So aren't your projects covered under force majeure clauses?
No, there are force majeure clauses, but some clients will reimburse us. Force majeure works two ways basically. Either whatever cost we incur are on our to our account, and whatever delays the client faces is to his account. Or there may be some provisions by which we get reimbursed, because of the central government directives or whatever. So it will be driven by the contract conditions basically.
Mm. And how much percentage of your total project order book is covering cost escalation clauses, sir?
Most of our projects have cost escalation clauses.
Okay, so whether this because of social distancing norms,
Yes.
since the progress of the projects are slower,
Yes.
so whether these things will not be covered under your cost escalation?
No. Cost escalation clauses typically cover any increases in the cost of materials or labor or petroleum products like diesel, etc. So unless there is deep escalation in these prices, we won't be compensated for the delay in because of COVID.
Okay, the time aspect is not not covered.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Avnish Kanani from JM Financial Services. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir.
Hi.
Sir, I have a question on the pipeline, how it is evolving. You did mention, some decent pipeline on the metro side and or port side. My question, sir, is, in the current environment when existing facility itself is not properly utilized, maybe yes, since last 2 months things have changed and it has improved a lot. But while clients are taking a bet on a large infrastructure projects like metro and port, are you seeing a sense of urgency in closing the projects, or there are a lot of discussions and they are taking time to close these projects? So in that context, how would you see the pipeline conversion to order kind of time cycle, and how do you see that for us, and do we see a different pattern for say a project which is floated by a private party versus a project which is funded by state and or central government versus a multilateral agency sort of thing? So where are we? How are we placed in some of these projects, and how do you see the outlook for say next maybe 6 to 12 months, whatever is the visibility? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. This is Jayanta Basu again. Actually, if you see from March onwards, the delay in converting the tender to order was mainly because of the lockdown issues, where movement of the people was restricted and many things got delayed. But as an intention, if you see the lot many jobs after the lockdown is over has been converted to order, which is happening quite fast. And as a result of that, we have secured this Seabird project. We have secured one of the government job in Calcutta Metro, and there are many jobs tendering going on quite fast, and other companies also securing. So I don't see there is much of changes in that on post-COVID issues. So orders are coming, and there is not much issue on that. And if you see the pipeline, as I mentioned, metro works are really going underground and elevated metro in all the major cities like Patna, Chennai, DMRCs, and even Calcutta also. So yes, I don't see there is any problem with that in terms of getting tender converted to order.
Okay. And sir, about progress in terms of differentiation of say a project which is funded by say state government versus central government versus say a multilateral agency. Any differences in terms of its hurriness to complete the order versus the payment cycle, sir?
As far as payment cycle is concerned, again it got delayed 3-4 months back because of delay in operations and procedural issues. But otherwise, we don't see any problem because nowadays the payments are coming on time. State government, we don't work much, so we'll not be able to comment. Otherwise, central government projects and the jobs which are multinationals like Port of Singapore, DP World, or company like them, those are going quite okay. I don't see much of a problem dealing with them.
Okay. So barring the, say, a second wave, strong second wave of COVID, we think life should be normal by fourth quarter.
Yes, if there is further lockdown, then we don't know. If there is no lockdown, then it should be okay, like what it was before COVID situation.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir, and all the best. And happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali as well.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Parikshit Kanpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Hi, Jayanta. So, Jayanta, you said that the execution will pick up and now we are back at pre-COVID levels. So, we still maintain that fourth quarter run rate will be 1,000 crores plus?
Parikshit, it is difficult to predict a number, but we hopefully, yes, it will be close to that, yes.
Okay. Okay. So what is the quantum of the orders which have still not moved into execution, leaving aside the L1 orders, so out of the total order backlog right now, so what will be the value of orders where work has still not started?
See, one is your project Seabird, which is 1,200 crores. We just received the order. We have not started. And CPWD Delhi, though we got the order long time back, because of local issues, and they have some issues related to clearance of the existing front, so that has not started. And one new job we have got from Calcutta Metro, which has just started. So put together, it will be around close to 3,000 crore new order, which is yet to start in full swing.
By when do we expect these? By third quarter end or by fourth quarter, early fourth quarter, we expect these works to start?
Third quarter end, yes, Calcutta Metro will start. Otherwise, Delhi and Seabird will start from fourth quarter.
And we'll have some revenue contribution coming in from these projects?
Yes, yes. Fourth quarter, yes, yes.
So some of the associates which are not getting, which are getting only by the contribution is coming as single line item. So specifically the Mumbai Metro Underground. So what kind of, you said that by December the tunneling job will be over. So I think large part of contingency should be taken care by then. What could be the unrecognized profit sitting in this project, which has to be recognized?
This is basically, if you see, that there is a typical work we are doing which is called NATM. That is, we have to do a station. I don't know which station it is. Siddhivinayak? Sidla Devi. There we had to do some drilling and blasting underground. And this process is going on quite okay. And we are hopeful that it will be also completed properly. So once that is done, a large chunk of contingency can be released. But when that will happen, we don't know. It may be on the fourth quarter or even next year also.
And how big is that contingency as of now?
That I don't know. Often I don't know, but I'll check up. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And this last thing on the insurance part, which was discussed earlier in the Calcutta Metro. So earlier we had said that about 100 crores of profit, 100 crores of cash is sitting on this project, which can be utilized. So do you still expect that kind of utilization to happen after the insurance settlement?
Yes, if you see that, not 100 crore, I think around 200 crore FD is lying there in the bank for this project, despite of having a lot of additional expenditure. So, and on top of that, whatever we get from insurance, which is also going quite positively. So, it is, in a nutshell, it is like that.
So this 200 crores will be utilized, or we could have savings on that, so once the insurance claim comes in?
This 200 crore we have kept as a provision because job has to go by another 1.5 years. And so, large chunk of that should come to our system.
So to come back. So,
yes.
So you may not require that big a provisioning as of now, which was earlier guided that 200 crores maybe. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that could be a big positive
if
this thing comes up.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, Thank you, Chandra.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, thanks for taking my questions. So, two questions. So, one was if you could share your thoughts on the new Bangalore Underground Metro project. What's the status? Have you been able to mobilize the site, and are the TPMs at the site now? And when do you expect to kind of start booking numbers from this project?
Well, Bangalore Metro is fully equipped now. The mobilizations work, which involves temporary site installation, like development of casting yard, development of other facility, that has been fully completed. We have already commenced the permanent work, that casting of the segments, and we have already started doing piling activity. Around 100 pile has been completed. TBM modification is going on. We became a little slow because of COVID at Chennai, and we hopeful that TBM will be able to be at site from January, so that we can start work from February onwards.
Okay. And so we will follow the same cycle that we follow with Mumbai Underground Metro, because we were initially not booking a margin in this project because we want to finish some critical activities and then only start booking them. So do we have any critical activities here as well, wherein, I mean, the margin recognition would be somewhat taken up at a later date, or is it, I mean, somewhat better placed than Mumbai Underground Metro and you would be able to book margin on a recurring basis?
No, I think Bangalore Metro, we don't have such problem. It should be quite standard like other projects. Yeah.
Sure. And Prasad, just a small clarification. I think somewhere in your remarks you said we booked around 30 crore rupees of provisioning for Bangalore Metro elevated in this quarter on reassessment of the cost to completion. But when I look at the income statement, I think we booked almost around 40. So we booked profit. Share of profit from associate, which is a positive number, and I was under the impression, I mean, we generally get to have this from Mumbai and Underground. Does it mean Mumbai Underground Metro has not seen any provisioning? I mean, although Bangalore Elevated has seen some, but Mumbai Underground has not seen anything. Is that right?
No, in fact, there's a difference in the way we account for the Mumbai Metro project, where we don't have a majority or we don't have control. And Bangalore Metro project, where we exercise control. So Bangalore Metro.
No. Sorry, I couldn't kind of communicate it properly. So I'm saying, I mean, in Bangalore Elevated, which is an elevator which is considered to be kind of somewhat simpler project when compared to underground, we've made some provisions, right? I mean, 30 odd crore rupees is what you said. And when I look at share of profit from also, which is a positive number, which essentially appears to have come from Mumbai Underground.
Yes.
And since it is still positive, does it mean we've not made any provision in Mumbai Underground? We did not feel any need to kind of make any provision for cost to completion in Mumbai Underground Metro?
No. In Mumbai Underground also we have considered the additional costs on account of COVID. But
okay.
As Mr. Basu mentioned earlier, we have some contingency provisions again, in that project. So it gets set off partly against those contingency provisions, and there's no impact on the bottom line that we report on the Mumbai Metro project.
Okay. And any specific reason for rise in your net debt number? I think it has gone up from 300 odd crore rupees last quarter to this quarter almost around 385. I think you said in your opening remarks.
No. That is as the new orders start getting executed, we need to fund the projects in the initial period before the billing cycle can really pick up and start.
Okay.
So that is the reason for the increase in the debt.
So is it fair to assume that, I mean, from some of these new projects you are yet to draw your mobilization advance, so you've been committing money from your pocket, which is why the debt has gone up?
That's correct.
Okay. And if you could share your thoughts on margins, I mean, going ahead, because now their cost would have been changed for some of these projects. So initially we used to guide anywhere between 9 to 10 odd % kind of margin on a recurring basis. I mean, would that number go down because there's this change in your cost estimates now for the entire order backlog based on the COVID impact?
No. I don't see any major or any material deviation or change in our margin numbers in the margin profile. We expect it to remain more or less what we have indicated in the past. We don't expect any material change over there.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to remind participants that you may press star 1 to ask a question. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1 now. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
On behalf of Mr. Basu and myself, I would like to thank you all for joining us on this Q2 earnings call. We wish you all a very happy Diwali and stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you. On behalf of ITD Cementation Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.